Hey there, folks. Russell Brand here appears to have been a complete and utter trash fire. It seems that he has committed enough sexual offenses to keep a vice unit busy for at least a couple years, and we are going to talk about that. Welcome back to the Political Living Room. I am Karen. This is my living room. This is my aranciata in crystal. This is my witch's hat. Happy Halloween season, everybody. And we're going to have a little chat. And here we go. Drink them if you got them. Alrighty. Russell Brand. Police receive further allegations against the comedian. Amazing, right? So I know that there are people who will say things like, well, these women are just doing it for attention. They're probably just lying and they just want clout. Okay, well, here's the thing. If you are a woman online accusing a powerful man of anything, first of all, people are going to call you a liar. That is generally not something that someone wants to subject themselves to. Another thing that women are subjected to is all kinds of sexual shaming, being called sluts, saying they asked for it, being called stupid sluts who asked for it, being told that you should have known better. And so they will be blamed for being in the vicinity of this particular idiot when he felt like doing something with his weenus. And the people who accuse women of asking for it or should have known better, that should, what the hell am I trying to say? People who accuse women by saying the women should have known better. I want you to think about something for a minute. What if this was your sister or your mother that this happened to? Would you be telling her you should have known better? Or would you say, this guy is a trash fire for having done that? I just want you to think about that. Now, for your hard-boiled misogynists, that's not going to mean anything. But for people who are still redeemable, it might give them something to chew on cognitively. All right, so let's just take a look at what this dude was accused of initially. Here we go. All right, so the Sunday Times, the Times, and Channel 4 investigation discussed 4 women who leveled accusations against Brand for offenses committed between 2006 and 2013. One woman alleges that Brand raped her without a condom against a wall in his LA home. She says Brand tried to stop her leaving until she told him she was going to the bathroom. She was reportedly treated at a rape crisis center on the same day. So that would just be a little too much of a coincidence, right? Or you would have to believe that she went to the rape crisis center to be treated for a rape that was committed by another man, and she just happened to accuse Brand of it. Seems a bit far-fetched, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A second woman in the UK alleges that Brand assaulted her when he was in his early 30s and she was 16 and still at school. If you've read that account, you know that her mother tried to talk her out of it. The driver of the car that went to pick her up at school also tried to talk her out of it. But in the way of many 16-year-old girls, she thought she knew better than all the adults in her life, and there you go. Now, Brand was 31. There is no decent man at 31 years old who wants to have a relationship with a 16-year-old girl. That is not a thing. I don't care if it's legal. 16-year-olds are kids, and he should know better. Okay. A third woman claimed that Brand sexually assaulted her while she worked with him in Los Angeles. She alleges she repeatedly told Brand to get off her, and when he eventually relented, he flipped and was super angry. She says he threatened to take legal action if she told anyone about her allegation. Huh. Sounds totally plausible. One of the things that we should have come to accept over the last several years is that men in power tend to sexually abuse the women that they have access to. There are allegations against the Orange Man. There are allegations against Governor Cuomo, governor of New York State. There are allegations against Rudy Giuliani. Let's see, who else has allegations against him? They're all over the place, pretty much. Bill Clinton. If you have a man in power and he has the opportunity and the predilection to go after the women that he has access to, believe me, he will. As a matter of fact, it surprises me that there aren't more of these. Okay. The fourth woman has alleged being sexually assaulted by Brand in the UK and him being physically and emotionally abusive towards her. Okay. Again, powerful man operating with impunity. One of the things that I get a kick out of is Brand talking about how this is a conspiracy to silence him. What the hell is he saying that's so goddamn revolutionary and so detrimental to government systems that the legacy media and the state would need to shut him up? Nothing. But he says, according to this article here at the top, he said there was an apparent concerted effort between the legacy media and the state to silence independent voices. I'm an independent voice. I actually speak against the government every day. I speak against one of the government's favored religions, transgenderism, every day. What is Brand talking about that is so against the government? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so let's get into the new stuff. Here we go. Second UK probe open against Russell Brand over sexual misconduct allegations. And here is the report. Thank you, New York Post. Okay, so another woman has come forward and is willing to submit herself to the abuse that she will no doubt receive for daring to criticize a powerful man. Okay. A second UK police probe has been launched into scandal-scarred actor Russell Brand over allegations of sexual misconduct, according to a report. Thames Valley Police confirmed Saturday it was investigating claims made by a woman who met Brand in 2015. The woman accused Brand of being a sexual predator, the outlet said, citing police logs. The authorities in Thames Valley have become the second police department to open an investigation into the 48-year-old health and wellness guru, since a bombshell report earlier this month included accusations from a number of women who said Brand sexually assaulted them. Brand has vigorously denied all wrongdoing, which is his right, and they all do it. Do you really expect him to say, oh, yeah, I attacked a bunch of women? Let me see. Let me count them up on my fingers. Let me see. There's 5. And then there was, I'd say about 7. No, 8. 6. Somewhere between 6 and 8. Do you really expect them to do that? Of course not. Of course not. So, and again, the women who come forward with these allegations, they will be put on trial. They will have to prove, as they should, right? They will have to prove that this man committed these offenses. And the way that women are questioned when they accuse any man of sexual assault or sexual misconduct is, what were you wearing? Did you lead him on? It doesn't matter if you say something like, well, I walked into his dressing room and he had his ween out and, he like flashed me. It's like, well, did you knock before you went in? It's like, what? Generally, if you walk in on someone and they're not expecting you and they are in a state of undress, they will be shocked and cover up. Unless, of course, they're a flasher. I was flashed on the subway years ago. Actually, the guy wasn't really a flasher. He was sitting there, shall we say, taking himself on a 5-finger vacation. And I reported it to the cops. And the guy saw me talking to the cops, and he ran out of the train station. And I said to the cop, if you run after him, there he goes running up the stairs. And they're like, he's too far away now. Yes, exactly. That is how seriously law enforcement usually takes reports of sexual misconduct from men. So there's that. So in order to be taken seriously, this woman probably already had to put herself through all kinds of untold misery just to be taken seriously. And again, she will be slut-shamed. She will be blamed for this man's misconduct. She will be told that she was asking for it. She should have known better. For what? For clout? We don't even know what her name is. Brand is a trash fire. Let's keep going. So here he goes. The latest probe seeks to find out more about harassment and stalking allegations. Great, leveled by the woman. The Thames Valley Police told the Daily Mail. Stalking and harassment. Look at this guy. This guy was famous. He's got all the money. He was a BBC presenter. He was in movies. He has access to all kinds of women, right? But the reason he engages in these behaviors is not because he's some lonely incel who doesn't know any better. This is what he does. This is what he wants to do. He wants to flash. He wants to engage in non-consensual encounters. He wants to stalk and he wants to harass. This is what he wants to do. We need to accept this as a society, that there are men who want to do this. They want to prey on women. It is not a question of need. It is not a question of having access to other partners or other encounters. This is what they want to do. And they know that the consequences for behaving in this way are non-existent. In the UK, you can have men caught with child abuse materials and they get probation. You can have men convicted of violent, non-consensual acts with a woman, and they get a year, 6 months, 2 years. You have men who impersonate women who are arrested for non-consensual acts with a woman or with a child. And those men, once they claim to be women, get housed with women, right? They get housed with their prey objects. Why? Because men are allowed to operate with impunity in this society. That's why. All right, let's go a little further. Here we go. Okay. The alleged victim reached out to the police department with new information in relation to the accusations. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Here we go. Okay. This information is being investigated. As such, it would be inappropriate to comment on an ongoing investigation. The woman lived near Brand and got to know him in 2015 before the pair accused each other of harassment. Interesting. Now, if this man, if Brand was harassed by the woman, he certainly deserves to have his say. However, considering that he is wealthy and famous, I'm having a hard time believing that she was actually harassing him and he wasn't able to do anything about it. I don't believe that. It's not impossible. I'm just saying I don't believe it. So let's keep going. Scotland Yard, which houses the Metropolitan Police, said last week that it started an investigation tied to allegations made against Brand in London, as well as the rest of the UK. So what did he do? He just fouled up the whole island with his predation? Dang. Well, of course, impunity is impunity. Okay. So I love that. You've got the Metropolitan Police, the Thames Police. Okay, so Scotland Yard, or the Metropolitan Police is part of Scotland Yard. Okay, and then you have the Thames Police. I wonder if any other police force will have to involve themselves with this cat. Because like I said, this is what he wants to do. He wants to do this. This is his thing. And he counts on women keeping their mouths shut because they usually do. Okay, so following an investigation by Channel 4 Dispatches and the Sunday Times, the Met has received a number of allegations of offenses in London. A number. Wonderful. So I guess there's going to be more to come, which is dreadful for the women. But I really do like to see abusive men get taken down. I like to see it. And if he can get convicted and go to jail for this nonsense, I'd be thrilled. Another one who needs to go to jail, Tate. I haven't talked about him yet, but I will. Ooh, does he ever need to go to jail? Okay, let's keep going. Yes, we have also received a number of allegations of offenses committed elsewhere in the country and will investigate these. I said he could keep a vice unit busy all on his own for quite some time. The report from Channel 4 Dispatches and the Sunday Times detailed a series of sexual misconduct allegations against Brand by 4 women. Okay, so we covered that. Alrighty, so there we go. So we're going to leave that here. And I will be coming back to this subject as more allegations, which I'm sure there will be, become available to the public. As I said before in another video I did about this guy, I believe the women. Men who can abuse women with impunity will abuse women with impunity if that is part of their repertoire of behaviors. There are powerful men who do not abuse women, and there are quite a few powerful men who do. I think this guy is one of them. There's too many women now saying that this guy is a predator for anybody who's got half a brain in their head to dismiss the allegations entirely. And no, the legacy media and the state is not trying to bring some wellness comedian down. Let's just grow up, shall we? Alrighty. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. And until then, have a great night and happy spooky season. Bye-bye.